Paris Saint-Germain can be described as simply unrecognizable in the current campaign. Take a look at the team's latest performances: 4-0, 5-0, 5-2, and 7-1. We just want to know how these guys think they are. Now it would be interesting to look at the faces of Leonardo and Pochettino, who had this treasure in their hands. A truly incredible roster. Though they had decided to play them out as if a football match is not a bright holiday during which one can get a great pleasure, but a boring chore when everyone is not allowed to have a good time. Nevertheless, PSG of the new season finally feels like an exciting project eager to rewrite football history. Everything goes so easily that while watching the game, some may assume that the players are not just working hard on a pitch, but straight up flying across the place with a great ease. And have you noticed how the trio of Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe dropped into the scene? Guys, it seems that we're witnessing the birth of a legend. The legendary trio MNM, which will be able to compete with iconic Barcelona trio MSN. How did Christophe Galtier manage to recreate real football art? How did he manage to combine Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe? And why this season absolutely all opponents of the Parisians will not be able to sleep after meeting with Eminem? You are in the Inside Football channel. Press the like button if you enjoy PSG and this stellar trio. By the way, folks, if you are a PSG fan or a personal fan of any of the members of the Messi, Neymar, Mbappe trio, then we have a big present for you. The OneFootball app is the most convenient thing we have ever used. It has everything a true football fan needs. All the latest news on clubs and players, streams and game reviews, a calendar, and a very user-friendly interface. Most importantly, all mentioned options are absolutely free. All you have to do is click on the notifications so you won't miss any important event from the life of your favorite club. Link to the app is in the description. Use it wisely. Let's remember August 2021. Lionel Messi has just arrived at PSG, and the world media has already screamed, the most powerful trio in the history of the game. Just imagine what they will create on the pitch. Unlucky day for other teams' defenders. This will be a real-life nightmare for them. However, the season went on, and what did we have as a result? Only one trophy, a triumph at Ligue 1. The individual stats of La Pulga and Juninho were more than modest for performers of their magnitude. Leo had 34 appearances, 11 goals, and 15 assists. Ney had 28 appearances, 13 goals, and 8 assists. Not bad for mediocre footballers, but not for big deals. Only Kylian Mbappe held the bar with 46 appearances, 39 goals, and 26 assists. If there was a main driving force at PSG last season, then it's definitely him. Of course, the club's highly ambitious management couldn't accept such a reality and decided to restart the whole thing. They succeeded in re-signing the contract with the main star Kylian Mbappe, inviting the new sports director Luis Campos, and finally, they brought a new head coach, Christophe Galtier. The football community was skeptical about the personnel decisions of the Parisians. They expected Zidane, but got Galtier. Messi was saddened and missing Barcelona, while Neymar seemed to think more about his image from the Neymar, the Perfect Chaos documentary. Despite all the pressure, Paris club leadership was finally able to realize their dream. Now the brilliance of the Messi, Neymar, Mbappe trio is unstoppable. So, how did they get to it? Kylian Mbappe's keys was both the hardest and easiest to fulfill at the same time. To begin with, keep him out of the hands of Florentino Perez was a #1 priority. The recipe, codenamed "Give Kylian everything he wants," fit into the scheme just fine. Money, 57 million euros per year and 300 million possible bonuses, mixed with power, influence and transfers and coaching decisions, were enough for Donatello to resolutely penning a new agreement valid until the summer of 2025. In terms of motivation, Mbappe does well, and even exaggerates. We clearly saw this in the scandalous fixture against Montpellier, where Kylian and Neymar had a dispute over penalty taking, and Mbappe pushed Messi approaching the Brazilian. Then it seemed that the stellar trio was completely in shambles. Emotions and the strong desire to become the main man negatively affected Mbappe in those 90 minutes. But already in the match versus Lille, there was no trace of that selfish Kylian we got to see. The lad was generous in passing, appearing to be a smiling and very pleasant teammate. How did such a miracle happen? The matter is that in the aftermath of the crucial game against Montpellier, there was a meeting between Campos, Geltier, Mbappe and Neymar, at which the guys settled out all their issues, finally reconciling and bearing the hatchet. We are to remind you that the world media outlets wrote that the Brazilian is offended by the Frenchman because of… Alright, let's move on to Neymar. The revival of Neymar is the sole guarantee of an actual shock therapy, which the management decided to execute on one of its most valuable assets. In recent years, Ney did not live up to expectations. He often got injured and didn't always follow regime, causing suspicions of a non-serious attitude towards the project of PSG. Before the start of the season, during a conversation with a journalist, the president of Paris Saint-Germain, Nasser Al-Khelaifi, hinted that Neymar has no guarantees for a starting lineup place and that the Brazilian can be sold. We've seen lots of authoritative comments on this topic. The new management's mind games is a nutshell. Al-Khelaifi, Campos and Geltier plotted to anger Ney so that he finally remembers what kind of a footballer he can be. And indeed, it worked. After all, Neymar is once again named among the best athletes in the world, despite him not making his way to the list of Ballon d'Or contenders. The Ballon d'Or list of nominees lacks one more person, and this person is Lionel Messi. For the first time in 17 years. It's unbelievable, but we should be realistic. The 7-time award winner completely failed this season, having not much of an impact on the team's achievements. Subsequently, Messi has to assure everyone who was booing him last campaign that there was a coincidence. Next season we will see the best version of Messi ever, stated Nasser Al-Khelaifi in June, already having a ready-made plan from Campos and Geltier. The president, sporting director and head coach knew the problem with Leo's poor performances in his first season in Paris. He was used in the wrong role. Geltier began to build the team, minding the strengths of the performers he had, thus moving Messi and Neymar from the offensive flanks to the center, giving the wings to the younger and faster starlets, Nuno Mendes and Achraf Hakimi. Having received the free-to-move roles in the center of the pitch, the Argentine and the Brazilian began to deal with what they like more than anything: to control the game and combine with each other. The 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-1-2 formations perfectly suited this PSG squad, and it can be seen right from the first performances and the team's results in the current season. Geltier also introduced a set of rules to the club, implementing strict discipline regarding nutrition and regime observance. No more night walks for Neymar and his entourage. Looks like life at Paris Saint-Germain is becoming purely dwelling on the #1 game. At last. What interests me is seeing what Lionel Messi, Neymar and Kylian Mbappe do when they don't have the ball. And there, even at 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, they always came back to defend. If they continue like this, I tell you, watch out friends, and watch out Europe too, said Thierry Henry after their match versus Lille. And this is a great display of the current PSG. The guys are there for the team, enjoying the process. A kind of a typical Paris, where there are too many different egos used to be operating. The MNM destroys everyone in their path. Neymar has 7 goals and 6 assists in 4 appearances of the new season. Messi has 4 appearances, 4 goals, and 2 assists. Mbappe has 4 goals and 2 appearances, 15 goals and 8 assists in total. And these were only the first 4 fixtures. At some point, we all wonder whether the new force in the block can beat the legendary MSN. We are to remind you that the most notable season for that fantastic Barcelona trio was the 2015-16 campaign. Suarez scored 59 goals and provided 24 assists back then. Messi scored 41 goals and assisted 24 times, while Neymar scored 31 goals and delivered 25 assists. The total number of goal-contributing actions is insanely huge, 204. Let's hope this record will serve as a benchmark for Eminem. As for now, Paris has all what it takes for a team to become truly remarkable. They are already making history. For example, Opta seems to note, Paris have scored at least 5 goals in each of their last 4 Ligue 1 games. Only Reims in 1952-53 had previously done it in the league's history. Also 4 games in a row. Kings. And how about this statement? Paris are the first team in Ligue 1 history to score at least 3 goals in 6 consecutive away games. Deluge. They have everything to succeed. The president, who contributes to the club as much as he can, the sports director, who knows what players are necessary for the coach and is responsible for transfers, the coach, whom the players respect and who knows the language of the club's big names. And then they have the MNM trio, which has every chance to write their abbreviation in the history of football. The World Cup is around the corner. Messi, Neymar and Mbappe are as motivated as possible to get in their best shape and already instill it in their performances and show their worth to the whole world. Paris seems to be willing to compete for the Champions League trophy. But that's the story for another day. We'll talk about it later. Folks, what do you think of it? What are your predictions for the MNM trio for the season? Write your thoughts in the comments below. It was Inside Football. We watch football from a different angle. Have a nice one and see you in a bit.